equity, and under that we had done the dividend model, dividend plus growth model, earnings price approach, and the CAPM model. Now there's a question on your screens from the dividend plus growth model. A similar question has been covered in the class. So please start with this question. You are given the market price of equity share at rupees 100, and then dividends have been paid for 5 years. Now you have to calculate the growth rate on the basis of past dividend declared, cost of existing equity, and new equity for which the price has been advised at rupees 90. So might be the merchant banker or the advisory for the company has advised that the appropriate market price right now should be 90, and a flotation cost of rupees 8 per share will also be incurred. So please start with the question. First step is to calculate the growth rate. Which table will we be using to calculate the growth rate? Can anyone recall? F.
CVIF.
Yes, good. Nakul, Muskan, you are right. मुदस्सिर present value नहीं use करेंगे बेटा, future value use करेंगे. आप कैसे check करोगे? You will take, say we are starting with 4 rupees of dividend, and the growth rate we do not know. This is what we are calculating. After 4 years, this amount is growing to 5.05. Okay, so you will try and locate the value in future value interest factor table. Okay, okay, so please go ahead and solve this. I hope you people are having the future value table. See what the growth rate is coming to. So I'll present the future value table so that you can locate the value. So this is the table here. Now you have a time horizon of 4 years. I just now have a look. So 1.2625 is the value you are locating, and you are locating it in 4 years. So yes, you people are right. We are getting the value at 6% growth rate, which is approximately equal to the value which we have calculated, 1.262. So the growth rate is 1.26. Sorry, the growth rate is 6%. Moving back to the question, the next part is asking you to calculate the cost of existing equity, for which I told you KE in
मैम
this
6% कैसा है?
बेटा फ्यूचर वैल्यू टेबल पे आपका जो ग्रोथ रेट है वो आप फ्यूचर वैल्यू इंटरेस्ट फैक्टर टेबल यूज करोगे. आई एम मूविंग बैक टू द प्रीवियस स्क्रीन. तो the growth has been observed in 4 years. आपका टाइम 4 years है. वैल्यू टेबल वैल्यू 1.2625 है. So you move horizontally from 4 years and you get the value under 6%. So your growth rate becomes 6%.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
ठीक है. Okay, moving back. When we have to calculate the value of existing equity, the formula is the D1 by P0 plus G, and for fresh equity it will be D1 by net proceeds plus G. Now in the question you are given the growth rate and the past dividend. So to calculate D1, what will we do? We will add 5%, sorry, 6% to the last declared dividend. So you get D1 from here. Market price 100 is already given. Now you can calculate what is the cost of equity coming to. Just put the values in the formula. So what is the answer you are getting? 11.35% is the correct answer. Now calculate for the last part, fresh equity. Rest is same. So the answer for the second part is 12.52. Yes. What about others? More responses in the chat box. 12.15 तो नहीं है बेटा. नकुल एक बारी कैलकुलेशन चेक करो. It is approximately 12.53, 12.52. So this should be the answer. Yes. So most of you are getting this answer, which means that the fresh equity is costing the company more. Okay, and the reason behind this can be that your net proceeds are lower than the current price at which the share is selling. Okay, and that is why it is costing more to the company to issue fresh equity. Okay, now let's move to the next question. So this is a question using the earnings price approach. You're given the current market price of the share is rupees 100. Earnings of the company are 20 lakh and shares outstanding are 2 lakh. The company wants to raise additional 6 lakh, for which the flotation cost will be 10 per share. And the shares are being sold at a discount of 10%. You have to find out the cost of equity. Okay, under the earnings price approach, instead of dividend, we consider the earning per share. So now, step 1 is to calculate the EPS. If 20 lakh is the total earning and shares outstanding are 2 lakh, then the earning per share is rupees 10. Okay, and the formula for cost of equity is EPS upon NPS, earning per share divided by the market price per share. Since this is fresh equity, so this will be the net proceeds. Okay, so here I'll take the net proceeds because there is no market price. Okay, we are calculating the cost of equity for the fresh funds which are to be issued. So net proceeds will be 100. You are issuing the shares at a discount of 10%, means they are being issued at rupees 90 per share. And then again, the flotation cost is rupees 10. So your net proceeds from the share are 80 rupees. You can directly put these values in the formula and you will get the answer for cost of equity. So how much is the value coming to? This is 10 by 80. So 12.5. Yes, correct. 12.5% is the cost of equity. Okay. So I hope all these models are clear. We have practiced questions on each of the model, or each of the approach that has been used to calculate the cost of equity. We now move to the next source of finance for the firm, which is the cost of retained earnings. How to calculate the cost of retained earnings? I'll move to the PPT. Okay, so from the theory point of view, a question is generally repeated that retained earnings of the company, they do not carry any cost, or this is a free source of finance for the company. So the answer to this is that retained earnings also involve cost, because as I told you earlier also, if the company is retaining the earnings, not distributing dividend to the equity shareholders, they expect future funds, future income from the firm in form of capital appreciation of their shares. Capital appreciation means increase in the market price of the share, higher dividends in the future. So they expect that these funds will be reinvested and at a higher rate of return than what could be earned by them. So if I am expecting that if I'll be getting dividends from the firm and I'll deposit them in say an FD at 7%, firm is not giving me the dividends, I will expect that tomorrow when I receive dividends from the firm, then the implicit growth rate should be more than 7%. Okay, so अगर आज मुझे 10 रुपीज मिलना था डिविडेंड, तो कल मुझे एटलीस्ट 18, 19 या 20 रुपीज मिले, 7% का जो इंक्रीमेंट है उससे ज्यादा मिले. ओके, so if I would have bought that 10 rupees, 7% पे आप इन्वेस्ट करते 10.70 आपको मिलता. So when tomorrow the company redeclares some dividend or my share sees some appreciation, then that 10 rupees should have been should increase to more than 10.70. Okay, so not 18 or 19, but 10.70, 10.80, and so on. So you are expecting more from the company if the company is retaining the earnings. So retained earnings always involve a cost. Okay, if you have a look at the formula, cost of retained earnings is equal to cost of equity into 1 minus tax rate into 1 minus the brokerage cost. If no cost is given, that is there are no taxes, there is no brokerage cost, then cost of equity and cost of retained earnings is the same. Okay, but since in practical life we have taxes also, we have brokerage cost also. That is the cost involved in purchasing new equity. That is there in the market. So your cost of retained earnings, this is KR, cost of retained earnings will be lower than the cost of equity. Cost of equity is adjusted for the taxes and the brokerage cost. You get the cost of retained earnings. Okay, this is how this approach works. Okay, let's move further. So now we have calculated the individual cost or specific cost of various sources of capital, various sources of finance. आपने cost of debt करा है, cost of equity करा है, cost of preference shares करा है, and now we have covered the cost of equity, sorry, cost of retained earnings also. Now we move to the next calculation or next concept, which is the calculation of the overall cost of capital of the firm. Okay, so now when a firm is using multiple sources of financing, how do we calculate the overall cost of capital of the firm? For that, we use the concept of weighted average. Okay, we assign weights to each individual source of finance and then multiply it with the specific cost, add it up, you get the weighted average. To assign weights, two concepts can be used. You have a look here, then we can use either the market value weights or book value weights. So market value weights क्या होंगे? Weights which you are deriving from the market value of sources of capital. And book value weights will be weights which you are deriving from the book value of the sources of capital. तो अब जब if you recall जो भी हमने accounts में balance sheet बनाई, जो भी आप वैल्यू ऑफ एसेट्स और लाइबिलिटीज पुट इन करते थे, दैट वाज ऑल बेस्ड ऑन बुक वैल्यू. ओके, वी वर मूविंग अकॉर्डिंग टू द हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट कॉन्सेप्ट. दैट इज द cost at which you were purchasing the asset, it was adjusted for depreciation and then the value was recorded in the balance sheet. So it had no relation with the market value of that asset. If we continue with that concept, we are moving as per the book value weights. If I am taking the book value of equity, if I am taking the book value of debt, moving according to that, according to the balance sheet values, it is the book value weight. Market value क्या होगा? What is the current market value of that equity share or current market value of that debenture? If I assign weights on basis of these values, that become market value weights. Now, obviously, out of the two, a more realistic approach is the market value weight approach. But book value is still preferred because stability रहती है, आप comparison easily कर सकते हो. Market values बार बार fluctuate होती हैं. The shares which are traded in the market, fluctuation is not only on everyday basis but every hour, every minute basis. Okay, so that makes the calculation part difficult, complex हो जाता है. That is why book value weights are preferred over market value weights. But when we are solving questions on the same, we'll use both the approaches. So this is how you calculate the overall cost of capital. You are taking the cost of equity into the weight of equity, cost of debt into the weight of debt, cost of preference into the weight of preference shares, cost of retained earnings into the weight of retained earnings. You add them up, you get the overall cost of capital. Let's start with a question on the same. So here's a question on your screens. You have three sources of finance here. Sorry, four sources. You have equity, shares, preference shares, retained earnings, and debentures. And you are given some current market values for debentures and preference shares, equity shares, and then you have been asked to calculate the weighted average cost on basis of book value weights and market value weights. Okay, so let us start with the question. So we are first using the book value weight approach. Okay, you are given the specific cost of capital already. So I write it like this. So you have equity, you have preference shares, you have retained earnings, and you have debentures. So this is the information that is already given to you in the question. The first step will be calculation of weights. So we add up this column. This is the column of book values for each source of finance. 25 and 40, 50 lakh is the total. Now to assign individual weights, this will be 20 lakh upon 50 lakh, which will give you 0.40. Okay, similarly, you will calculate the value for preference shares, that will be 5 lakh by 50 lakh. For retained earnings, 10 lakh by 50 lakh. And for debentures, it will be 15 by 50 lakh. You will get the weights. the total for weights will always be equal to 1, and then after that you calculate the weighted cost for each source and add it up, you will get the cost of capital. Okay, so first please calculate the weights. Okay, now you can multiply the third column and the fourth column. So Nipun has calculated. I'll check the answer, Nipun. By that time, rest of you also please solve. So yes, 8.75% is the correct answer. Others also complete. You'll get to know whether you have solved it correctly or not. 8.75% is the correct answer. Okay, I hope there is no doubt in this. Okay, now we will move to the calculation of market value weights and then what is the overall cost of capital on the basis of market value weights. Okay, so there is the columns will be the same. Just one thing to understand. Okay, now for preference shares, you are already given that they are trading at par, which means the amount will be same, 5 lakh. I'm writing like this, you can put in the zeros properly. And for debt, you are given that it is trading at 94% value. The retained earnings cost is 11%. So this is also 11% and this is 4.5%. Okay, so first we calculate the cost of debt, sorry, the amount of debt, what is the market value of debt, which will be 0.94 into 15 lakh, which will be 14 lakh and 10,000. Okay, now what needs to be understood is how do we calculate the value of equity and retained earnings on the basis of market value weights. Now you are given that the equity shares are trading at rupees 13 per share.
Ma'am, can you explain the debenture one again? How
डिबेंचर
14 point
बेटा जो वैल्यू है इस टाइम पे वो 94% पे ट्रेड हो रहे हैं, मतलब बुक वैल्यू से 6% कम पर ट्रेड हो रहे हैं. आपके पास बुक वैल्यू 15 लाख दी हुई थी, उसका आपने 94% कैलकुलेट कर लिया. दैट इज द मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ डेट राइट नाउ.
Okay, ma'am.
This will give you 14 lakh 10,000. Okay. The second thing to understand, as I told you, is that equity and retained earnings. अब इनकी वैल्यू आप कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे जब आपको मार्केट वैल्यू शेयर्स की दी हुई है 13 per share. Now, if you remember, retained earnings are part of equity share capital. हम इक्विटी कैलकुलेट करते हैं, डेट इक्विटी रेशियो कैलकुलेट करते हैं, तो उसमें हम इक्विटी में इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल प्लस रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स लेते हैं. Okay, so when market value of equity is 13 per share, then this is including both the value of equity share and a part of retained earnings. My equity, total equity is worth 13 per share. I have 2 lakh shares in the market, which means the value of equity right now is rupees 26 lakh. Okay. The value of equity is 26 lakh, which means this value is to be divided into equity share capital and retained earnings. Equity shares and retained earnings. In which ratio should I divide this? Can anyone tell me? किस proportion में हम equity share capital को divide करेंगे in equity shares and retained earnings? Any guess? This ratio you will derive from the book value. If you have a look here, yes, Mudassir, you are right. You are given that ratio in the question itself. 20 lakh is to 10 lakh, 2 is to 1. That will be the ratio in which you will divide equity and retained earnings. So 26 lakh into 2 by 3 will give you the equity share capital, market value, and market value of retained earnings will be 1 by 3 into 26 lakh. Okay, so I'm writing it here. 2 by 6 into 26 lakh will give you the equity share market value, and 2 by 6, 2 by 3. And 1 by 3 into 26 lakh will give you the weightage for retained earnings. So the amount is coming to this will be 2 divided by 3. 17,33,333 will be the value of equity, and value of debt will be, retained earnings will be 8.67 lakh. So now you can total this up, you will get the total market value, and then you can assign weights, and last column is the same, WI into CC. This will give you the market value based overall cost of equity, cost of capital. Okay, so please solve now. So this is 39 lakh 10,000. Now you can calculate the weights. Sorry, I have not taken the total correct. ये तो 26 लाख था ना, 26, 41, 45 lakh 10,000. Now calculate the weights. 8.384. सेवन एट नाइन एक जगह और राउंड ऑफ हो सकता है. So you can take this as triple one. So your total will come to 1. 8.63. I'll check the answer. 0.55. Answer is 8.63. प्रथम आप डेसिमल प्लेसेस अपनी चेक करो सॉल्यूशन में. एट 8.63% is the final answer. Make sure you are rounding off up to 3 decimal places, and then you should get a total of 1 in the weights. This will give you the exact answer. 9.6 तो नहीं है. Garima, you also check your calculation. No, it won't be 9.6. I'll solve. I'm making some mistake. 4.224. Answer is 8.6325. Please check your values. I have written the exact values there on the screen. You can check. So 8628 is fine, Dhruv, but Himanshu आपका बहुत difference आ रहा है. आप check करो अपनी values. And rest of you also complete the question fast.